That's not what a political party, properly speaking, should be doing. Whether or not there's an election, a political party must remain very functional. And one of the things they must be doing is also to keep the government of the day on their toes. Parties in Nigeria don't do that. So I'm saying that, yes, elections are coming, they are mobilizing only for the purpose of election. I don't think that that's adequate enough. Mobilization by political parties and other relevant agencies of government. Don't forget, we have the National Orientation Agency. We have several other agencies at federal and state level, civil society organizations, who actually should be the one to tell the electorate what they stand to gain or lose by participating in the process. That really is only done, haphazardly. There has not been any concerted effort, whether by the current ruling political party or the one that ruled before, to consciously mobilize the people. And that, to me, appears deliberate. You see, once the people are mobilized, it becomes difficult for government to be irresponsible. And because I don't think that government is making any frantic effort to become responsible and accountable, it is better to leave the people unmobilized. And that's why you hear politicians, when they talk, with or without the electorates, they know what to do to win the election. As we speak, the rumblings about the riggings of the Ekiti election 4 years ago is still reverberating in Nigeria till now. And accusing fingers are being pointed at some dramatist personnel who are also going to be involved in this particular election. So, political parties in Nigeria, if we are serious about democratization, not democracy, democratization, then parties, INEC, here then, must ensure that parties do what they ought to do with or without election.
Dr. Ashir, just hold on. Please differentiate that democratization, democracy. What's the difference?
Democratization is a process towards attaining a democracy. Unfortunately, today, the euphoria is that we are a democracy. We are not. Because what goes into being called a democracy goes beyond the charade that we have in government today. You find government and the people speaking at discordant tunes. The government is not accountable to the people. There are no clear-cut party hierarchy and party structures. There are no political education and mobilization. When you have a democracy, you are taking a whole lot of issues, constitutionalism, the rule of law, fundamental human rights, and several other issues like that. So we are aspiring, to become a democracy. That's what I mean by democratizing.
Okay.
We are not yet a democracy.
Professor Idoko.
Yes.
When you were talking, you mentioned 100 political associations clamoring for registration as political parties.
Yes.
So far, there are just about 68 already registered. But the process of becoming a democracy, where everybody is involved, isn't that what we're doing? I mean, getting 100 political associations, and I'm sure many others will come up as we approach the 2019, more will come up. Aren't we on course?
Well, we're doing some things to become a democracy. Not necessarily that we are doing everything right. As he said, yes, we are a pseudo-democracy. That's the way I would put it. Not a complete democracy, because there are so many things wrong with the processes in Nigeria. Constitutionalism, the National Assembly, the political parties, INEC itself, they have a lot of issues. Now, 100 political associations have applied to be registered as political parties, hoping to be on the ballot the next time around. How can you contain such, crowd on the ballot? It creates a lot of crisis, even for INEC. INEC is already crying out that they cannot manage 68 of them. So you have to produce the ballot papers.
Yeah.
And every political party must be on the ballot. If you skip one, they will sue you.
In trouble.
The election will be cancelled. That's the meaning. So INEC has to be very, very diligent in accommodating all the political parties. So when you look at the issues about political mobilization, about popular participation, the civil society, the media, you see that the political the space is not yet a democracy. That is the point he was trying to make, and I agree with him. We are just in the process. But we have come a long way. It's just that leadership doesn't have the political will, to actually institute the democratic process, because we don't have the institutions. The institutions are very weak, and nothing is being done to strengthen, reinforce the institutions and structures of democracy. So that's why we have all these problems.
When we say nothing's being done,
not that nothing is being done, not
as much. Okay.
Yes.
The issue, I wrote down something here. I wrote voters' rights.
Yes.
Party membership, ideology.
Yes.
Growing up, we used to hear of the NPNs, NPP, the UPNs. They had somewhat of a defined ideology. So you had people who had been party members for a while, and my mom then, how much was it that she was party membership, her dues every month, her card, I think she used to pay like, is it 50? No, 1 kobo.
Yes, something like
1 kobo every month or thereabout. I'm not too sure.
Yes.
I mean, I was real small. But these were things that where like everybody was gunning for it. When they are going for their meetings, there's excitement in the village, in the community when they are going for their meetings. Why is it that we don't have that now?
No, sir. The issue, the military destroyed a lot of things.
No, the military is gone.
The military is gone.
It's like
Yes,
you are sleeping at night.
I agree.
You wake up in the morning.
Really gone?
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's another question.
Hold on. You wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Night is gone.
Yeah.
This is morning.
Yes.
Why are you still talking about the night?
So let me give you something. Our past inhabits us.
Oh, sure.
And defines our present and projects us into the future. So you cannot forget your past, because they have influence. Even colonialism, has influence, in what we do. Our idea of Western culture and all that is still pervasive, even as we talk. How many years ago did we become independent? Over 50 years. And this is dominant. So it's the same with democracy, the democratic process. But the issues you raised are very, very germane. The lack of ideology in the political formation is a major issue, because nobody belongs to anywhere. It's only interest. That is why somebody can cross carpet from one party to the other and nothing happens. And there's no shame. The person doesn't feel any remorse doing so. If the person had belief, had ideology, the person will stick to defending the ideology, no matter the issues. When you go to advanced democracies like Britain, like the US, you don't see politicians cross-carpeting just anyhow, because they believe in their ideologies, they defend their beliefs. The Republicans and the Democrats and the other smaller parties, defend their beliefs very strongly. They don't allow you to invade or undermine their ideology. So the lack of ideology is a point. Then, of course, the mobilization. You talked about your mom paying a political fee. Nobody pays fees anymore to belong to a party. People are just...
Perhaps because some people who have, the bulk of the money don't have to wait for your payments.
I agree.
Okay, there's a question that you...
1 minute, please. You see,
No, we have to go on a break. We'll come back. We'll come back to where you make your point.
All right, that's okay. That's fine.